Hi Guido, Fox here. Wonderful that you will watch my new book report about spirituality and personal development. Today I want to discuss with you this wonderful book. It's The Unuttered Soul from Michael Singer. More than 1 million copies sold, especially in the USA. The Unuttered Soul, the journey beyond yourself from Michael Singer. Wonderful book, nearly 200 pages of information I read for you. I highlighted in yellow the most important sentences from this book. And you see a wonderful horse here by the sea, by the water. And that's also the meaning of this book, The Unuttered Soul. That is the free, unstrained soul. So, how you become self secure enough to free yourself from your old conditionings, your old pains, your old traumatic experiences in life. He talks a lot about in his book about your old pains, your shadow in yourself, and how you become open and free and are able to express yourself in your environment and with your friends and with the peoples in your surroundings, and that you're able to open up yourself towards the world, and not for the world in your surroundings, but of course for yourself to feel better in life and not be restrained and scared and angry and disappointed in life and lazy and have a pessimistic view about yourself in the future. And I have the feeling that this Michael Singer was meditating a lot in his life, is meditating a lot of his life because he talks about ecstatic feelings. And if someone in a book talk about ecstatic feelings, probably he feels his inner chakra activations, what you can reach after hours and years of meditation experiences. So he talks about the indwelling being, the indwelling drunk being, the drunkenness of the ecstaticness of your chakra activations. Not only the ability to find yourself, and that's where a lot of coaches were talking about it. Find yourself, find your real self back, find yourself, you're lost, but they don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. So, how you are able to find yourself back? Find yourself back is very strange because that means that you're going back to the past, the person who you were in the past. Find yourself back. So you were a child and somewhere the matrix were picking you up and you're going in a development of the matrix, and then you're lost in the world, and then you have to find yourself back, and you know who you are when you were a little child or something. So you don't know who you are, and you don't know who you are maybe in the future or wants to become in the future. So if you find ecstaticness and you find chakra activations, you know who you really are in your kind of superior indwelling being. So your soul wants to become enlightened. I talked with you in the previous video about that. So your indwelling being is actually finding yourself. And that is in the future, probably. That's after years of meditation, you actually find yourself. So yeah, it is not the ability to find yourself and not find yourself back because you want to strive always forward in life, but it's also the ability to free yourself. Yeah. So not only to find yourself, but yeah, the ability to free yourself. And I have to adapt some more knowledge to this sentence. Yes, you can only be free if you find your ecstatic self. So if you find your ecstatic self, you find trust, you find self-confidence, and then you're able to free yourself. So the free yourself are related to your inner force, your inner source. So if you find your inner source, your inner line, you're able to free yourself. Open or past experiences. Open or close do past experiences. Page 45. You have the tendency to close. The most people are becoming closed in life. They are hurted because of love. They were disappointed in love, disappointed in the partner you had before. You're disappointed in your job, in the jobs you had, the contact with your people. You're hurted by your old friends. So you have a tendency to close. Page 45. Yes, you have a tendency to close. And if you're stepping in meditation, you heal yourself. You heal yourself and you become open again. And the energy is flowing again. Shakti. They call that Shakti in the Buddhistic language. Shakti. Your Shakti is not streaming because you become close. A lot of women becomes close. What I see is due traumatic past experience with boyfriends, right? They cheat on you or they were not nice to you and they become close and not open for real love anymore. And without healing, you stay close and your life is not becoming better. So the advice is here, stay open all the time. Be careful that you will not hurt again, but better to hurt again and again and again for you grow than stay close and close and close and close. So better to open yourself to let the Shakti energy stream in your life. So Shakti has to move forward. The energy stream, your spiritual energy stream, has to be reactivated. So better to be open and heard again than stay close and not feel that the energy is streaming in your life. I talk more later in this book report about the Shakti energy stream. Page 50. So in your 3 hearts in a row, you have 3 hearts in a row in your line, in your chakra line. So I focus on my 3 hearts on a row. It's your magnetic force. There is a storage. That's your past energy storage. One is the negative and one is the positive. Yin yang, right? It's always yin yang in the spirituality. One side is if your heart chakra is healed, your three hearts on a row. I call the three hearts on a row the one big heart chakra. If it's healed, if you meditate a lot, you're healed. You're healed from past experiences. But that's positive. The negative part is you becoming so sensitive, so hypersensitive and full with intuition that you are able also to see the dangerous situations in your surroundings, and you see probably where things go in the future with people or with situations. So it's also your intuition, and that's in balance. Are you staying open all the time because you want to stay open for the world? Or you're following your intuition and you're saying, I'm not going into this situation, or I'm not going in this relationship because I see already the bears on the road. That's a balance. That's a balance. That's really a balance which path you choose. So don't be naive, and you become less naive. I can say if you feel your heart chakra and you feel your intuition, you become less naive. So in the new situations who are coming to you, you become a less rational minded, but more an intuition minded person who thinks, okay, I make this jump or I make not this jump by this personal situation. But still you make jumps. You understand a little bit? Still you make jumps in your life, but you're more critical with who you goes, right? So actually, it's one side positive, your heart chakra, you are healed, you're open again. One side is negative, you have a border to not going with the strange persons in your life. You're more critical with who you go. So actually, the negative here is also, you can see it makes you less open, but it's also a positive thing because you can give more energy to the person who you see more future with. So the negative is here also a kind of positive thing. So that calls the Samkara. So you have the Shakti stream now, the Shakti flow, but the heart energy and the chakra there is your past energy storage, your intuition, your pattern recognition also involved here. So you see patterns in behavioral patterns from people, and you can recognize that in storage in your heart chakra. So that calls the Samkara. Your Samkara is your heart energy storage. And that is also reactivated by traumatic experiences. So if you recognize the trauma in your past, you recognize it slightly by new behavioral patterns, right? So if you are were hurted in the past by comments of people, and you recognize that people are going there a little bit with nasty comments to you, and you know, hey, this becoming worse and worse. I feel already. You are able to recognize these patterns because your traumatic experiences will be reactivated and you protect yourself. This is a good thing because you don't want to be hurt again. It's senseless to go as open and naive as possible. Try again with a kind of helper syndrome or a victim syndrome. You're used to be a victim in your life constantly. It's also a pattern and an addiction to be always the victim, to be addicted to the victimhood. You're always a victim in your life, and going on in this pattern again and again. So your trauma will be reactivated, but it is healed. It's healed, but can be reactivated to protect yourself in your future, to develop yourself further in life. Page 61, the hypersensitive psyche. Yeah, if you're going in meditation, your psyche is becoming hypersensitive. I talked with you also about intuition. Your intuition will be working better, but also your mind becoming so efficient. You can have main issues in your life, side issues in your life, and you can make really a distinction in your life, in your mind. What is important at this moment? What's important the next day? How is my planning or working? Your brains are becoming so superior. Your brains are becoming so efficient, so sharp if you are going into meditation. And that's deliver also the hypersensitive reactions, or your hypersensitive soul, is because the pattern recognitions I talked with you already in this video. You will see the social dynamics in groups or in the streets, and your patterns are going bam 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 bam, and you know already, okay, I walk away from this situation. So also here, the protecting mechanisms in your life to grow further. And I talked with you in the previous video about Gautam the Buddha, and Gautam the Buddha talked about also this protecting mechanism. So use your hypersensitive brains to avoid situations who are able to cause energy leakages towards the world, towards people, and towards the matrix where you don't want to be in. So that's the part of the hypersensitive mind psyche. Page 87, I want to read some parts from this page. The more you sit in the self, the more you sit in, right? Sit in your line, sit in your chakras, sit in your line, your inner seven seals line, the more you will begin to feel an energy that you never have experienced before. This flow has been called Shakti. So you never felt this energy before. You never felt this ecstatic, indwelling being in yourself. When you have tasted this ecstasy of the inner flow, you can walk in this world and the world will never touch you. So you are able to walk in the matrix, but the matrix cannot hurt anymore. Right? So how more you meditate, how less you annoyed you are. You're less annoyed from the people in the matrix, right? How less it touches you. The people who are eating from the dustbins, the people who are addicted, the people who are violence motives, the people who are heavily stressed, the people who are rude, the people who are not good in their energy. I feel everything if I walk on the street. I can protect myself, but it's not really touched me. The same as the rain. In the past, it was raining, and you get angry, and you get, oh, it's raining again, and you shout, and you don't like it that it's raining. And now I'm okay with the sun. I'm okay. I'm less okay with the rain, honestly. But I can at touched me less and less, and it's in line with Osho. Osho said it too. The rain is not touching me anymore so much as before. So the weather conditions, always a topic, a light topic when you talk to your colleague or your friends or a stranger, right? You always talk about the weather, some less heavy subject than politics. So the weather is not affecting you so much, and the people from the matrix, and also less coming into your space. So when you have tasted ecstasy of the inner flow, you can walk in this world and the world will never touch you. Very beautiful sentence on page 87. That's how you become a free being. You transcend. That's how you become a free being. You transcend. So there's the transcending energy in your life. Page 107. So the replacement of your inner force. Spirituality is about replacement and rebirth. So a new rebirth in your energy system. Shakti, inner flow, replacement, rebirth. You replace your inner pain and disturbance. You're still mentally disturbed. Your mind is shifting everywhere. You're still in your mind. You're not in your body. You have still your fear, inner pains. So when you're focused on your inner force, your disturbance and your inner pain will be disappearing. Will be disappearing in the line. Will be disappearing in your healing line. So your replacement and rebirth gives you new Shakti flow for the future. And on page 111, you reach the ultimate mystical state. The ultimate mystical state. And you become different than anybody else. So that's what Michael Singer said. If you're going heavily in meditation, you will become a different person with a light energy field around you. And you become totally different than the rest of the people. And people staring at you. People are staring at you. Babies are smiling to me when I ride with my motor next to them. People are starting to wave to you, even from nothing. You will become a shining light in the matrix, and the matrix needs it. You need to shine your light in the matrix, because the matrix is a kind of dark place, and you have to shine the light towards the matrix, even if you are totally someone else than before. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you by the next date. Bye bye.